Check, check. Hey everyone, it's Hatefulcrawdad again, and this time I might actually talk to you for a little bit. It's been pretty hard with scheduling and just wanting to do some hobby things and not pull out the camera lately to get a good YouTube video out, or at least the vlog style ones. But I've missed it, I want to get into it again, and that's what today is going to be. What I want to do is practice carving eyes and maybe take you through that process a little bit and share some of my frustration and just show you, what can happen to interrupt our normal content. Please subscribe to this channel if you would like to continue seeing content like this. Over the weekend I tried to carve a face. That was going to be my next thing out of like a triangle of wood. I was going to carve like a wood spirit or something like that with a beard and a mustache. I got the basic outline of the faces really good, and I was happy with it. Got down to doing the eyes and just royally messed the thing up. Started with one eye, got a little way in, tried something here and there, and before I knew it I'd gouged out like way too much wood and it looked like shit. After thinking about how can I salvage this, at least to get a finished piece out of it, I was gonna do like some kind of scar zombie kind of thing with some blood and stuff and just finish it out and maybe do the other eye. But I went in to attempt the second eye and again, royally messed it up. What did I learn? I probably should have practiced the eyes first. I really crave those finished pieces, and like that's what keeps some of this going for me. So just decided, go for it, screw it. Let's just do it on the actual piece without practicing. And what happened? I ended up with a couple hours of wasted time. Not wasted. I got to practice making the beginning part of a face. So I'm gonna attempt another face probably in the next week or so. But before then, I'm gonna actually practice some eyes. And the hard part about all the resources I found so far is that most of them require all these different gouges to get really good eyes, but I need to figure out how to do them with a knife and maybe a V-tool, since that's all I have. So let's go along. I'll take you along with me through this process. Let's see if I can learn how to carve a decent eye. I just can't draw eyes. I don't know how to draw eyes. Am I ever gonna be able to draw eyes? I don't know. I almost got killed by a witch, guys. But I made it to the garage, and I'm ready to learn how to carve some eyes. Now the problem I have is, I've got one resource that I know of. I got for Christmas this book from my dad, but it's mostly about carving faces. It's got a small section about eyes, but it does use some gouges and stuff that I don't have yet. So I'm gonna do some trusty Googling on my MacBook and try to find some videos or instructions on exactly how to whittle an eye first, just to get an example of maybe what I'm going after, and then from there, dive into that book. Even if I don't have the gouge, I'll try to replicate the cut somehow with a knife or whatever I do have at hand. First place I'm gonna look is trusty old YouTube. Let's go. So like any good YouTuber, I came to YouTube and I started searching whittle an eye. And what did I find? Lots of videos that led me in a good direction. Most of them used a gouge of some sort, but I was able to get what I needed and figure out how to use a knife to go through the process. It was really helpful just to see the process of how they built up an eye. Alright, I think I know what I need to do now. After consulting Google, taking a look at the book that I have, I realized the book that I have goes into way too much detail for where I'm at now at a skill level that I'm at and with the tool set that I have. Someday I'll have those tools, but for now I need something that's going to work with basically one whittling knife. So after some YouTube watching for a while, found a video that I saw the guy kind of break it down step by step, watching him, and I think I get the process now. So I'm gonna sketch it out just to get my head around it, and then maybe try it on a couple places on a blank here for you. What I'm doing here is sketching a step-by-step process, built up like through each step, using shadows and arrows and notes to just remind myself what to do as I learn. This really helped me visualize what I needed to do in the wood when I get to the later part of the video. It was really helpful. Alright, so I finished up these sketches. I've been learning a little bit more. I actually have a second set of sketches I'll show you real quick too, but I wanted to quickly run you through these, what I'm showing here. The first kind of way I saw was to cut this relief of a shape of eye, and then you basically round it down to that stop cut, and then you cut some little triangle cuts out of the corners to round that down, and you just continue to try to keep that inside piece round. And then you come in at a steep angle in the shape of an eyebrow, like right above the top of the eye piece that you did before. And it's like the knife is kind of going in, you know, as steep of an angle as possible. And then you turn it around and cut it out. And then the next thing you do the same thing on the bottom, and so on and so forth. You cut in the corner pieces, and then you can cut in eyebrow sections and add eyebrows. But another way that I saw was you make a small impression in the wood that's basically like a little divot. Inside of that you draw like a top lid, followed by an undercut under that lid. Then you remove those same kind of triangle corners. Then use a V-tool to kind of notch out the bottom a little bit more, and you might need to take out a little bit of wood. Then you can round the eye out. Then you can punch a little hole or carve a little hole or a triangle for the eye. And then, yeah, stop cut above the brow, undercut the brow to kind of emphasize the top lid, and then you can put in an eyebrow. You can optionally put in some bags or whatever, for age marks, etc. So anyway, pretty cool. Actually, really enjoyed learning that process, and I'm gonna try it out now. Safety first. So we're gonna work over here, and I'm gonna try to like just show you the progress of this next eye. Here you can see the first one, how it turned out. Not too horrible, I guess. Little divot. Ooh, got me. Look at it. Got me. Bit of blood. Should be wearing one of those safety things. Safety first. I ended up using Lee Stouffer's large spoon core scorp to make a little divot for this one to try it out. I did it on a flat surface, you can see here earlier today. I broke out part of the eye, but it worked okay. This one I was going too deep. Last night I went way too deep on the divot, way too deep on that. So you know I'm learning, but this last one was pretty okay. So let's get going. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I would call that a success. Yes! I spent about 6 hours total filming/learning and sketching and all that, as you guys kind of saw throughout this process, and the eyes just kept getting better and better. Let's go back and take a look at how they were in the beginning here, starting with we'll go in chronological order here, first and then the second, followed by the third and the fourth, and you can see that they just got better. And what I realized is I started way too deep, tried to be just too confident with my knife. These things are sharp and they pretty much cut like butter in this wood, and I just needed to be a little softer with my cuts and start more gradual. And I got a little more refined in the cuts and the process of how it feels. Got cut my thumb a little bit, but in the end was able to make an eye that resembled kind of an old man eye, maybe slightly angry, and I'm happy with it and really am confident that in time I'm going to get a lot better at eyes, and now I could probably do my spirit face and not F up the eye. At the end of the day, this was a very fun experiment for me, and it was really a necessary one because I need to learn how to carve eyes if I'm going to keep getting into this like caricature thing that I've been doing. I got a couple books that I can start to read through actually from Amazon, just arrived earlier today, haven't dug into them yet, but I'm really excited to continue this process. But I wanted to say before we go, don't be afraid to try something new. Don't be afraid to mess up. Trial and error is a great thing, and what you really have to just try to do is deliberately practice what you want to do. So I wanted to get into carving, it interests me, so you do it over and over again. You intentionally practice your weak areas, call yourself out, and you'll get stronger and stronger. Don't be afraid, always learn. It's amazing.